Wow. Good morning, everybody. Actually, good afternoon. Unless you're in Hawaii, it's still good morning. Rest of the world, what a day. Thank you all for coming. This one today is special. As you know, I use numbers a lot. In fact, it's all I do. I look at numbers and data. I have analyzed these ETFs for 23 days now in great detail. Every dollar, every flow, every Bitcoin purchase. I monitor the volume, the amplifiers, and I've created a new amplifier, which is based on my old one that I created in 2021. Now everybody's using the same thing, and it's great. But the cool thing is I've anchored in on a new version of it based on the last 5 days of flow, and that will give us price predictions based on your assumptions out to the end of this year, and they will melt your faces. And this is unreal. The math works. Despite all the criticism I've gotten, these ETFs are a big freaking deal, everybody. Thank you all for coming. Thanks to the mods in the chat. This one will be good. Let's start with a little fun, a little breaking news, and let's jump in. And first of all, as well, to everybody, happy Valentine's Day. I love this beautiful graphic made by our wonderful team. Valentine's Day. Give the gift that keeps on giving. And no, it's not a flower or a box of chocolates. It's Bitcoin. So think about that. And of course, you can give it both ways. Ladies can give men Bitcoin and vice versa and everything else that you can imagine. So let's talk about some of the good stuff as well. And not just giving the gift of gold, because nobody cares about that anymore. Hey, B-Man, good to see you out there. This is from 𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗞𝗜𝗚, and I thought it was kind of interesting. And I have been talking about this a few times, but it's an up-to-date chart. Is basically investors are dumping gold for Bitcoin. Since the spot ETFs were launched 23 trading days ago, the gold ETFs have in aggregate lost over 2 billion in net outflows, while Bitcoin ETFs have seen net inflows of nearly 10 billion. Aggregate cumulative inflows over 10 billion, net 4 billion. So we know, and I said this, all the money leaving Grayscale is not going back into Bitcoin. No, there's another source, and that is the old gold is going over to the new gold. Super exciting. And again, to all the ladies out there, happy Valentine's. Now, this is also the fun meme that pops up every single year from Jason Williams. Bitcoin at 17,000, at 15,500, at 16,000, etc. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. All right? But once the price goes above $50,000, it hits all the headlines. This is what I'm talking about. FOMO. FOMO happens. It's insane. Now, I will be showing a lot of visuals today, but this one is one of the pretty ones that sums it up real clean. I have 100 more charts coming, so wait for those. But here you can see just the last 4 days, 2 billion has come into Bitcoin itself from Bitcoin Archive. Massive, massive. I calculated that'd be 25 million retail investors DCAing for like many, many months to even get close to that amount of money. The money is colossal. This time is extremely different. And the asset is so much harder. Tired of saying that, but you have to keep on hearing it. Now, this graphic is very important too, because everybody says, oh no, there's going to be a dip before the halving. There always is. No, there's not. And a shout out to Wicked Bitcoin for this beautiful chart. It's animated. It's on Twitter. You can see it. I will tweet it again later. But the thing is, running into the halving, first halving, second halving, and currently we go up. Now, those with a 4-year memory go back to March 2020, and they remember Bitcoin fell down with everything else, including gold. But that was because of a black swan called C19. That's it. This time is different. This time we're going up. We're going up not only to the halving, but after as well, everybody. So buckle in. It's going to be a fun ride. But again, to stress, this time is different. The money is extraordinary. Absolutely bonkers. Bitcoin was a retail game up until 23 trading days ago. Now it's not. Let me prove it to you. First of all, these are the raw numbers. A bit of an eye chart. But basically yesterday, these ETFs sucked in 13,000 Bitcoin. That's 14.44 times the daily issuance. And you've heard me say this before. That's going to be 29 times the daily issuance in 60 days. B-man, thank you. It's insane. But let's break down all the charts, and we have a new one today as well, which is super interesting. And a shout out to the dev team behind me. You make all of this possible, and thank you for subscribing to the channel. Don't forget, this one is ETF's Monster Day. Now, this graph basically shows you where the action is coming from. Look at the red line. We had 631 million come in yesterday. And what was interesting about yesterday's volume, because I analyze volume every day, the volume was low. But that means nobody was selling. People were just buying. The day before, people were scalping in, out, in, out, in, out. This time, it's just buying. $631 million. And look where all the money came from. BlackRock. That's the IBIT red line there. Fidelity was flat. The rest of them are kind of pretty much flat. The actual dumpage on Grayscale fell a little bit, which was nice. But this was all driven by BlackRock. And I've been talking about this for years. There will come a day when Aladdin, which is the BlackRock AI system that determines allocations, will be tweaked for Bitcoin to make an allocation to Bitcoin. Who knows? That could already be happening. Or it could be happening for select clients in select areas. For example, it could be, I don't know, school pension funds or something like that. Who knows? But we'll see. This is going to go bonkers. Now, let's look at what the biggest money flow day yet looks like. The previous one was day one, $625.9 million. Today, we beat it by $6 million. Now it's $631.3 million of money into it. That is 2/3 of $1 billion. Big money. And that includes, of course, the dumpage from Grayscale. In addition, another view is 10.4 billion is now, again, over 10 billion, is now into the new ETFs. I mentioned before, 6.5 billion was drained from Grayscale, and that did not go into the new ETFs. Other sources are driving the new ETFs, which is an extremely positive sign. If it all flipped in, it would kind of be a nothing burger, just be like a wash trade. But it's not the case. Minus 6.5 left Grayscale and went into other stuff, half of it at least. But the net, 10.4 into the new ETFs is massive. And the net is that delta between the 6.5 negative and 3.9 positive. Okay? BTC Maxi, we've got a BTC Maxi in the audience. I salute you, sir. Good handle to have in this season. Now, let's talk about the actual number of Bitcoin across all the funds. You have over 100,000 at BlackRock, about 85,000 at Fidelity, BITB 19,000, ARK 23,000 Bitcoin. And again, Grayscale lost 155,000. But the new guys sucked in net, including all of the dumpage from Grayscale into the new ones, 240,000 Bitcoin. That's nearly 250,000 Bitcoin in a very short window of time in just 23 trading days. But there's more. I feel like I'm selling something on TV. Here, check out the trend, ladies and gentlemen. This is the new Bitcoin purchase per day. Okay, again, biggest day ever. The previous biggest day was about 13,496 Bitcoin. The second largest day was 11,493 Bitcoin. We just had the biggest day, 14,649 Bitcoin into these funds, which is monstrous. Hello, Ravi. Thank you for coming. And let's look at another chart too. Let's look at the visual of what the 9 new ETFs are doing, and again, how they are accelerating. They sucked in 242,000 Bitcoin in 23 days. That's over 10,000 Bitcoin a day. That's all you need to know. 10,000 Bitcoin a day. Focus your eye on the little blue bars at the bottom. You can see exactly how much are coming in. And again, these numbers are massive. Now, I want to get to the crux of what I want to talk about today. As you know, I did the AI multiplier thing back when Tesla spent $1.5 billion in Bitcoin, and I was able to anchor in on a multiplier of 21. But this time is different. So what I've done as well, I've calculated all just over the last 5 days, and I did it over the last 23 days as well. But, if we assume, all right, $500 million is coming in a day. Some days are higher, some days are lower. Especially over the last 5 days, the average is nearly $500 million coming in. And we take my original multiplier of 21, basically it'll blow things up. Now, the real thing is I was able to drill into, I originally doubled the 21 to 42. This is kind of an old table chart. But now I figured out that based on the last 5 days of inflow, the actual delta, the amount of money changing from every single day is 59 times the amount of money coming in. Another visual of that, and again, it's a messy chart. Thank you so much, Mr. Hammer. Happy Valentine's Day. This shows you everything. Now, what I've done, and you can just take these numbers and adjust them to your own way at home. $500 million a day, okay? That is kind of has become the average. It could go a lot higher. We don't know. But if we take a quarter of that amount, so in the first column here, I'll walk you through this slowly. The first column, we take a quarter of $500 million a day. It's $125 million. And we multiply that by the new multiplier, which is 59. Okay? That gives us the 31.5 billion. No, 31.5 trillion divided by the number of Bitcoin. The number of Bitcoin I use is 15 million. That gets us to an increase in Bitcoin price based on a quarter of the average daily flows today just into 9 ETFs. That will increase the price of Bitcoin by $123,900, taking the price, 1 year target basically by the end of this year, to a crazy $173,900. Again, that assumes just these ETFs are buying. And they are buying at a quarter of the rate that they are buying today and the last 5 days. 1/4 of the rate. Okay? That takes us to $173,900 Bitcoin. Now, there will be more ETFs coming. Schwab is coming out with one. They're a $4 trillion shop. It's going to be big. But let's look at, imagine just half of that, okay? Half. And remember as well, money is flowing out of gold. The grayscale stuff will stop selling. A lot of this will be net new purchases, okay? No longer swapping. So it's going to get even more extreme. So we can easily conservatively say half of $500 million a day is coming in. That gives us an increase in Bitcoin price of $247,800. That takes the price up to $297,800. If just half the amount comes in. And remember, we're going into the halving. This thing is going to get a lot more scarce. These numbers sound absolutely ridiculous. Yes, I get mocked on the internet. But if supply and demand law of economics work, they are very possible. Just the money needs to continue flowing. The rest is handled by economics. All right, half. Now, if we go to... Oh, by the way, one other thing I wanted to say, and I forgot to mention it. It'll come to me in a second. But let's look at 3/4 of the money flow. That takes us to 421,700. And if the money flow continues at $500 million a day, that takes us to a $545,000 Bitcoin. I know these numbers are absolutely crazy. I know these numbers are crazy. But what I did was you look at the money flow every day. Every time, the easy way to think about this, every time $500 million of new money comes into Bitcoin, the price goes up by $2,000. Approximately. Okay? That's what this does. If that money flow continues, this price is going to go nuts. And this does not even factor into account the halving that is coming. These are extreme times, ladies and gentlemen. Super exciting. Okay, one more slide. And the chart as well. Last piece of great news for the day. Bitcoin is now above a $1 trillion asset once again. It crossed above 1 trillion market cap about 3 or 4 hours ago. And that's the first time since December 2021 we've been here. If you look at the chart here and that $1 trillion line, we crossed into it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. And I covered that in my model when I said, and I was mocked and ridiculed. I said in 11 days, Bitcoin could hit 62K, and everybody laughed at me because the day after Bitcoin price fell. Now look at it. Again, if this money flow continues, we are going very, very far north. So don't think for a second about taking profit right now. This is showing no signs of slowing down. And in fact, one other illustration of that is this. All right, it's going up. And this, BlackRock is buying more and more every single day. And this, money flow, increasing every day. Okay, so we are going higher, ladies and gentlemen. And again, crazy times. Good time to be alive. Stay healthy, my friends. Thank you all for coming. Hit the like on the way out, and a big thank you to Again, Mr. Hammer and JN and the whole team and Mr. Keyframe. It's a good time to be here. Thank you all. See you all later. Bye-bye.